Yo, it's a tiny terror coming in hot. Nicki had a really cool idea. I was telling her about my Dead Ringers experience, and she came up with this idea. Everybody listening to this probably enjoys horror movies, I would assume. I hope. I don't know why you're listening if you don't enjoy them to some degree.
We do have some listeners that aren't like super big horror fans.
I mean, you're welcome here. You're welcome here.
I'm proud of that fact. But yes.
We are going to be talking about, per Nicki's idea, we're going to be talking about things that make you squirm. Things that make you legitimately grip your chair while you're watching a horror movie, turn away, put your hand over your head, whatever. It could be anything from somebody getting a needle in their arm in a movie. I know that freaks a lot of people out, watching somebody get poked with a needle, blood drawn, that kind of thing, all the way up to like, I really don't like eyeballs. Like, I don't like eyeballs getting poked. So like, I mean, everything. This is a circle of trust. This is a circle of no judgment. Even if it's something that might seem silly, let's just let it out.
Okay.
What freaks you out in movies? If you've got specific examples of scenes or movies where this type of thing happened, please share them. You don't have to. I will start with one. Can I start with one? Are we cool with that?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Excellent. Disembowelments. And by disembowelments, I specifically mean scenes in which people have their insides put outside.
The insides should stay inside.
They need to be in there. Guts are gross.
Okay.
Let's just be honest. Like, intestines are disgusting to begin with, right? So as a kid, like the scenes in Dawn of the Dead where the motorcycle gang shows up at the mall and the dudes are getting like ripped open and guts are coming out, that really freaked me out as a kid. I'm kind of over, like, I'm not, that doesn't freak me out as an adult now. Like, I think those scenes are awesome. But it's when you do a disembowelment scene where I'm not necessarily seeing the actual violence. And I'm going to give 3 examples of scenes that still freak me out about like off-camera disembowelments. Dead Ringers. This one is not fun to watch. Him cutting his brother open, and the thing is, like, you don't see any blood. You just see Jeremy Irons #1 doing like the cutting motions, and you see Jeremy Irons 2's like physical reactions to being gutted alive. Yeah. There's something about the slowness of this that freaks me out, I think. And there's going to be a trend with my fears. It's not sudden. It's not, there's nothing funny or crazy over like, at least with like the Dawn of the Dead, like zombie things, there's a fantasy element involved there. It's so crazy and ridiculously over the top gory that you kind of have to like go like, oh, look at this guy. His guts are flying. Like, it's digestible because it's like, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel, but like the Dead Ringers one, like that is gnarly. Braveheart, second disembowelment. I still have a hard time watching that scene from Braveheart where his character gets disemboweled. It is rough. It is. I don't know when the last time you guys saw Braveheart was. Mel Gibson acts the shit out of being disemboweled. He's really good at it.
No, we were talking about this a day or two ago, I feel like, and I said, oh, wow, I don't remember that part from Braveheart.
Like, to the point where, like, there's somebody off screen that's got to be, like, tugging on his legs occasionally to, like, make him move with, like, the tugs of the blade cutting. It's so rough. And you don't see anything. You don't see any blood. There's never a moment, I don't think, in that entire scene where you see anything. The third one, and the one that gets me the most, this one freaks me out the most, and I don't know if it's because there's the added level. I think there's 2 reasons. There's an added level of, this is not a movie that's overly gory to begin with throughout the course of the movie. Mm-hmm. It's not, there's violence in the film, but it's generally not an over-the-top, crazy violent movie from what I recall. It's been a while. And secondly, because the disembowelment's happening to a woman, which, I'm sorry if that sounds sexist, but like that bothers me even more than watching Mel Gibson. I'm sorry. Like, maybe Mel Gibson's not the best example of a man.
Right.
But that bothers me.
Jeremy Irons.
Yes. Kirstie Alley gets disemboweled in Village of the Damned, the John Carpenter remake.
Right, yeah.
And it is a gnarly scene. Because, do you know why it works so well for me? Why it freaks me out so bad? It's because she's being paralyzed by their psychic, like, so she like physically can't move while they're doing it to her. And they make her do it to herself. Like, they physically make her cut her own guts out.
Yeah.
And we don't see any of it. Once again, you don't see it. And like it's just and like there's like a single tear going down her cheek, and it's really horrifying stuff. Like it's still, I'm thinking about it, and it's freaking me out. My heart rate is increasing.
I didn't remember that either. Like until you mentioned it.
Disembowelments. Not a fan. Who's up next? Nicki, Tim, who wants to go?
Nicki, why don't you go? This
Nicki,
is your subject.
Ladies second in this case. Yes. I jumped in front of you. Sorry.
You were very excited to talk about Kirstie Alley being disemboweled.
Don't say it like that, Tim. I mean, I don't know.
So what got us on the subject? So Willie was talking about disembowelments, and then we were trying to figure out what mine was, and I have a thing with fingernails, like torture, like where fingernails are being removed.
Oh yeah,
that I have a really
you
hard.
You would have loved
time
watching
with.
The Fly with me when I watched it a little while ago.
Yeah, I have a really hard time with that. And then I was thinking even more, and I would say one of the scariest scenes that I just had such a hard time watching was Hostel, with the guy is sitting in a chair and he doesn't even realize that his Achilles tendons.
That is a good.
When he steps up and it just kind of flops.
Oh my god, that is really good.
So now that's where
the Achilles. Yeah,
I like goosebumps. Just
it freaks you out.
Yeah, that really freaks me out.
There's a really good Achilles cut in Pet Sematary as well.
Yeah,
when the little boy cuts his.
I do remember that. Yeah, yeah. So I would say like those two things.
Have you ever seen so back to the fingernail thing? Have you ever seen like a nail actually torn off in real life? Because I have a story to tell you.
No, no, I haven't. I have not.
When I was younger, I dropped a bowling ball out of my big toe.
Oh, that'll do it.
And it hurt so bad, and then a day or two later, like the entire big toenail came off.
Wow.
And it was just raw down there, and it hurt. Like I couldn't put socks on. Like it hurt so bad.
Raw skin.
Yeah, yes.
What did
How
you
long
do?
did it take to grow back?
I just had to wait for it to grow back. Yeah.
As long as there's a nail bed still in there underneath your skin, you're good. It'll grow back. You can technically yank one out bad enough to where it won't come back.
Yeah.
I believe that's the case.
Well, I think I had a friend across the street, and it never bothered me when I was a kid. I would look at his toe. His toenail fell off. His big toe. I'd look at his toe all the time. And
it never grew back.
No, they actually because it kind of came off in one piece. They actually just kind of put it back on just to kind of protect the skin underneath. Like you could wiggle it around and stuff, but it was just and I don't know. It was weird. But I remember his toenail was no longer attached, but he still had a toenail on there. I can actually remember that him showing me it was on the sidewalk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Freaky.
Yeah.
Freaky.
So okay, is it my turn now?
Yeah,
sure.
go for it.
A couple things here that popped into my head. So you before we started talking here, you mentioned I'm not a big fan of snakes. I've gotten better as I've gotten older because it's just I see snakes. What I think it is though is not even so much snakes. I don't like scenes in movies, or in general, where there are a lot of animals in one place, like
swarms,
swarms are a big pile, like a nest of snakes, and they're all crawling all up. Even talking about it right now is and what a rat king, is that what it's called? Like a rat king, when they get all balled into one.
Oh god! When they're it's like a sea of rats.
It's like a sea of rats, and they're all tied all together in a ball. It grosses me out so much. Yeah. And so I don't even think I'm scared of I cringe when I think about it. Mm-hmm. Now, this is another thing too, because I started thinking about certain Jackass clips, because there are certain Jackass clips that make me squirm.
Absolutely.
A lot of times there's that one sweat one where the guy's running and they collect
as soon as you said Jackass clips that made me squirm, I guess I literally and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
The first one I thought of was the sweatsuit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
the sweatsuit is so gross because you could almost smell it. The other thing too, and this is because this popped into my head when I was thinking about Jackass. I don't have a huge problem with seeing shit poop, excrement.
No,
I have a big problem with that.
Do you? Mm-hmm. I don't like I'm trying to think of the movie. It might even be Dumb and Dumber. There's a sound, like the sound of like diarrhea, like explosive diarrhea,
sound of pooping.
like like that sound it makes when it explodes into diarrhea. It really bothers me, and I do not know why. I even thinking about that now too. I'm like,
Maybe it's because we've all been there.
I think it might be.
And so, it's like you hear the sound and you're like, oh, I don't want to go back to that place.
Or we've all been in, we've been in public bathrooms where, someone rolls in and then just, you could tell it's like an emergency.
Yeah.
I used to seriously, this, I remember now, I used to wear headphones when I went to the bathroom because I did not want to hear anybody else poop.
That's smart.
I have bad luck with public bathrooms in terms of, it seems like most of the time when I go in a public bathroom, I have some sort of, weirdness going on with somebody. Either there's a butt exploding next to me, or somebody's mumbling to themselves at the urine. I've had a lot of these situations where I'm like, why am I in where I'm like, why does this keep happening to me? Do I look like you can confide in me? I don't know what's happening here. Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2 more that I'm just the trains are.
Yeah. Go for it.
So piggybacking off of the whole poop thing.
Butt explosion?
Yeah. I just human centipede.
There's a Japanese wrestler that wears trunks, and on the back of his trunk it says loose explosion. And I always thought that was really funny because it's on his butt. Anyway, continue, Nikki. Sorry.
Human centipede?
Just human centipede.
Just in general?
Just the concept of it. Because unless if you're in spot 2 or 3, you're fucked because somebody's shitting in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then you can't throw it up.
No.
Because it's, and I don't really vomit either.
There's that added aspect of being sewed to somebody.
Yeah.
Too.
And, I'm just the suffocation,
remind me of the human centipede. So 2, you would be
3 people.
You want to be the
total.
one in front.
You want to be the one in front, yeah. Because 3, though, you're going to have... The other thing, too, is, you've got someone in your butt. They're going to throw up inside...
Your butt.
And I can't imagine that feeling great.
No. I've never had it.
I don't know, though. Maybe. Who knows?
If you watched enough Springer, I'm sure somebody popped up.
But yeah.
I'm with you. That's pretty gnarly.
I guess we're not supposed to kink shame in 2022, so maybe.
But don't human centipede people against their will. If they want to be human centipeded, you know what? Go for it. Just make sure you're...
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say don't human... I'm going to take this stand. I think this is a hard... Don't human centipede. I think it seems unsanitary. I think it seems dangerous.
It seems like a no, it seems like a bad idea. I guess if you can find a way to make it safe for yourself, then you can...
Okay, fair enough.
If one of you... Hey, if one of the 3 people in the human centipede is a doctor, then I'm okay with it.
So human centipede grosses you out.
Yeah.
It's gross.
So that just as a concept, I don't recall any particular part of the movie that really grossed me out. But when I was looking online at some gross things just as an inspiration for this conversation.
Were you just upstairs on your phone scrolling through typing in gross things?
If you hear a knock at the front door, it's the FBI.
And then that popped up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, that was totally gross." But another one that popped up that reminded me is if somebody. So I think that this was in what's the Stephen King movie? It's on Netflix. It was one of his newer ones, Gerald's Game.
Gerald's Game.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So being trapped somewhere that. I mean, that is so even so anything with the Descendant and caves and stuff, people getting stuck places and just having nobody be there to rescue you. That's terrifying to me, but that's not gross. But just that's a side note that I don't want to be trapped anywhere where there's really no way of escaping. So at Gerald's Game, where she's just stuck there and she has, isn't that she
degloves.
Degloves, yeah. So she has no choice but to basically rip all of her skin off just to free her hand. That is really difficult to watch.
No, it's horrifying. That's a rough scene.
Yeah. And I think
that's a rough scene.
I mean, there's been
or
more
Saw
films.
when he's cutting off his own foot. Yeah, there's something about self mutilation purely to survive that makes it scarier than like any sort of self-mutilation in a movie. Like
Yeah.
that's scarier because this person is so desperate to like get out of the situation that they're willing to lose a body part to do it.
Yeah.
That's spooky. I get
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah.
I got one more.
Yeah, Willie,
I
you're
got
up
a couple
next.
more, actually.
Yeah.
Animal attacks. And I'm not talking about Jaws or most movies where animals kill people. I think generally they're kind of silly. Like even Jaws, it's not that Jaws is silly. It's that like if a shark attacks you, I think you're going to be done pretty quick. Once again, it's the slowness of it for me. I guess that I'm discovering this tonight is like if you're going to take me out
Go
quick.
Uh-huh.
There's a slowness and like a methodical quality to these, like the ones I'll bring up a couple examples. In the movie Frozen, not the Disney film, the Adam Green film, where they're stuck in a ski lift, there's a scene in which one of the characters falls from the ski lift, breaks his leg, and there are wolves that start circling around him. And once again, it's another one where you don't see anything that's happening to the guy. You don't see it. You hear it all. And everything you see is the reactions of the other two that are seeing it. But there's he falls. The wolves are like circling him and growling at him for a while. He knows he's about to be eaten alive. And like, that's not a great way to go. It's not like a shark where they're going to take a chomp or two out of you and you're done. Like, the wolves are probably not going to it's not going to be quick. Right. And, it's so horrifying to talk about. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable. He's screaming at his best friend to tell his girlfriend, the two that are up there, don't let her look. Like, because he knows he's about to be ripped apart by wolves. I'm like, God, it just freaks me out. So God, it freaks me out. And you just hear it, and it's so gross. Another perfect example of that. The movie, and remind me what this movie is. I have not seen it since I saw it in the theater for film nerds. The Leo DiCaprio movie where he gets attacked by a bear.
Oh, Revenant.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And the reason, first of all, it's a horrifying scene.
I haven't
And it feels,
seen this movie
it
yet.
feels real. And it goes on for so long.
It goes on really long, yeah.
And I think this actually the things that are similar between these two scenes that I'm mentioning, there's no score, I don't think, in either part of the scenes too. But here's the horrifying part is the bear leaves, kicks the shit out of Leo. I mean, his fucking arms ripped up, can't barely walk and stuff. It leaves, and you're left with Leonardo DiCaprio's character kind of panting and trying to figure out, okay, where do I go from here? I just got fucked up by a bear. And then it comes back to finish the job. It literally it leaves.
I
with
forgot about this movie.
It leaves with the cubs to get its cubs to safety, and then it comes sauntering back over like, now I'm going to fucking kill you. And apparently that's what bears do. And that's so scary to me.
Really?
They F you up, take a break, make sure there's no predators in the area, and then finish effing you up. So they give you some time to think about the second round you're about to get of mauling.
That's terrifying.
It's horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real bad.
Yeah. So any animal attacks where it feels real, whether it's the dropping of the score or the slowness of it or that stuff, that freaks me out. There's like a torture element of that where it's like, just kill him, please. Like, please. Maybe that's why I like Friday the 13th movies so much, because like Jason just gets it done.
Yeah, it's a brutal kill.
He's
It's not-
whack in the head, you're done. Yeah, that freaks me out.
Did you think of any other ones, Tim?
No, you got another one?
No.
Okay, so I thought of this because this scarred me for life. I could not eat Cool Ranch Doritos for years after this.
Oh no.
I was watching.
It's not going to ruin them for me, right?
I was watching TV. I would assume now because I'm totally fine with them now. I'll eat Cool Ranch Doritos, but it was really sad because I loved Cool Ranch Doritos.
They're great.
I was a kid. I was watching TV, eating Cool Ranch Doritos, just getting ready for the rest of my life. Apparently, what I would be doing, watching TV, and a commercial for Ernest Scared Stupid came on.
I know this story.
Okay, did I told the story?
I don't know the story.
No, you told it to me years ago.
Okay, so
Because I went to go put it on the video store, and you're like, can we not?
Yes, good. I'm glad this stuck with you. So Ernest Scared Stupid, a commercial came on, and in the commercial, like the monster character gets like snot in his nose. It's like snot, and doesn't he blow a snot bubble or something?
It's like dribbling down.
It's like
stuff,
and all the
Ew.
snot, and like Ernest says, like ew, Vern.
Doesn't he sneeze on Ernest?
I think
Ernest has
so.
it on his face? Yeah.
And I was eating Cool Ranch Doritos at the time, and I was a kid, and I went this is the worst. Like, this is disgusting. And now I'm associating this gross scene in Earth Scared Stupid with Cool Ranch Doritos. I can't eat these anymore.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
Like,
so for years I couldn't eat them. Now I'm fine.
That's
I've
hilarious.
recovered after no therapy or anything. So
my favorite food on the planet is spaghetti. That's my favorite meal. I love
Yeah.
spaghetti with meat sauce. That's like my all-time. I'm very much a Virgil kind of guy. But I, for a few years, couldn't eat spaghetti. True story. Because I threw it up watching Big Trouble in Little China. Because crusty low pan grossed me out so much as a kid that he made me barf up spaghetti. Like I thought he was just so gross looking that I literally threw up spaghetti and then couldn't eat it for like 2 years.
Wow. I did not know this
David
about you.
Lopan ruined spaghetti for me for like 2 years. And that's my favorite food. So if I ever meet James Hong, I'm going to let him know, like, I need you to know what you did to me. My only other one I'll mention it briefly is it's another slow thing. Slow stabs in movies.
okay.
Not like like you see in most movies. Slow stabs. Ones where the character sees it coming and can do nothing to make it stop happening. I can think of a couple examples of this. A non-horror example, although some could argue this is a fucking horror movie. Saving Private Ryan. There is a stabbing scene in that movie that is, to this day, the hardest thing I've ever seen that I've had to watch in a movie, period. Ever. It goes on so beyond uncomfortably long and is just so horrific to watch. I don't even want to describe the scene because I don't want to talk about it. It freaks me out. It's horrifying. The new Scream had a good one.
It did.
It
yeah.
did.
That scene with the guy, Wes is the character's name, Wes in the house, and they do all the false door shuttings. It's fantastic stuff. It's probably my favorite sequence of that movie. Which, by the way, that's a movie that I'm liking more and more the more I think about it. I don't know if you're feeling the same way.
I bought the 4K. I need to give it a rewatch, but in my head,
Can I borrow it when you're done?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because I think there are some special features on there as well. So.
Okay, does it have a blue with it or just 4K?
Oh, you know what? Good point. I'll check.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll check.
Because I can't watch a 4K. Whatever, we'll figure it out.
Well, I can let you. Like, I have no issue just bringing over the blue next time because I'll have the 4K. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets a slow like in the neck, like it's really gnarly, and he's trying to fight it, and it just like, yeah. So those freak me out. The slow stabs freak me out. Definitely, it's another. I guess like I said, I've discovered something about myself. It's less about the method in which the person is dispatched, and more about the fact that it doesn't happen quick.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it. Yep. Anything else? Are we good? I think we covered a lot of ground here tonight. Nicki, great topic.
Hopefully,
Thank you.
yeah, very good topic. Hopefully, it made some listeners squirm too.
Yeah, send us yours in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I want to hear yours.
Yeah.
Please,
Absolutely.
please. Whether it's like specific examples of things in movies or just like a general, like I don't like spiders. You like whatever. Like, yeah. And we can talk about that. That'd be fun. If you're comfortable with us talking about it. If you're tweeting it to us, you're probably comfortable with it being out there. So, yeah, please do. It'd be fun. Thanks, guys.
Excellent.